Here we go. I show up at 9 o'clock in the morning. He wants to trade the Canadian dollar. Cash FX. Canadian dollar against the U.S. dollar. Anybody here trade cash FX? Or how about currency futures? Okay. They're not particularly different than trading stocks or stock indexes. They move very similarly. This is a daily chart. Now you can see on the daily, the nice thing about the dailies are they're fairly clean. There aren't that many pivots. The bad thing about the dailies are there aren't that many pivots. So you don't get that many setups. You might go weeks without a setup. If you get a setup, then you might get a nice big move. But remember, the longer the time frame, the larger the volatility, the bigger the stop. Right? 240 minute. This is one of the things he was looking at. He wasn't looking at dailies. He was looking at 240s. More pivots, still fairly large stops. Takes 4 hours for each bar to form. So I said to him, what exactly do you want to trade today? Out of the blue, he said to me, I want to trade 5-minute Canadian dollar bars. Now, in my wildest dreams, I would never have thought that he would have said 5-minute Canadian dollar bars, but okay, I told him, whatever you want, that works for me. So let's take a look. Just so you know, if I was trading Canada, I would either be trading 20-minute bars or 240-minute bars, or I'd be trading a non-time-based bar, something like 13 pips or ticks per bar in a range, which is equivalent to about 15 or 20 minutes. This is a little fast for me, but that's fine. If you want to generate some trades, this should generate some trades. It may also generate a lot of noise. That's why I wouldn't go down to 5 minutes, but that's what he wanted to do. That's fine for me. So it's 9 o'clock in the morning, and we're going at it. What are we going to take? Look at this. This looks pretty orderly. What are you going to do with this? Come on in. It's a little snaky looking thingy. I don't know. Do you see anything special? This looks kind of like a mess to me. So let's see if we can make some sense with it. So the first idea that I always do with people that have trouble reading the market, whether they have a block or whether they're just bad at reading the market. Sometimes when I start to work with people, they're not very good at identifying swing highs and swing lows and whether or not a market is trending up or trending down or congesting. So to some of you, that may seem obvious, but to a lot of people, they have no idea. They buy or sell because something's going up, and that's the end of the thought process. But they don't know where a swing high is or a swing low, whether we're making higher highs and higher lows. And it's important for you to identify that just on the chart. And one easy way to do it is this way. Connect the highs, connect the lows. Now in this area, you've got lower highs and higher lows. That means you're congesting, not going anywhere. When that pattern breaks, you start to make higher highs and higher lows, okay, you're in a nice little uptrend. Once again, that pattern breaks, you get a nice pullback. That's a lower highs, lower lows, a small pullback. Now you get a counter trend rally, or this may be the rent. It's hard to tell where the trend is at this point. You're really kind of congesting. And even here, when we go lower, it doesn't really go anywhere, if you can see, but we've got lower highs and lower lows, so it is in a small downtrend. Now, when you start to take out highs and make higher lows, the uptrend begins here in earnest. So this whole area is a nice uptrend. And on this 5-minute period, this would have been nice to catch, although we aren't trading yet. We're just identifying the market at this point. We got a tiny pullback here, and then the uptrend continues. And all I did to identify this is connect highs and lows. So if you get lost, if you look at a market that you haven't been watching and you go, you know what, I'm not sure how to read this, take 5 minutes and just connect the highs and lows, and you got the map right in front of you. Then go, okay, now where am I at, and what would it take if, let's say at the end here, we're in higher highs and higher lows, which is an uptrend. What would it take to turn this into a downtrend? Well, it would take you taking out this prior low, look, right here, and then making a lower high and taking out this low, making a lower low, then you'd have a change in behavior. And you go, hey, I got something going here. This is something I want to trade off of. So those are the kind of things we're going to look for, amongst other things. But this is the big picture kind of thing. If you're lost, start here. All right? All I did, I went to the end here where we're in this trend, and I zoomed in. I said, okay, let's zoom in. All right, let me put a box around here because I'm trying to get him to focus in. I want to keep drawing him into the action because obviously for 4 weeks he's sitting back and the action is just streaming right by him and he's not interacting at all. So I'm trying to just drag him right into the bars. Cool. I want him to get right into the war. Get your hands dirty and let's go. It's not his money. Anyway, it's my account. So let's take a look. So I drag him right in. I take this box, let's blow that up. That's this box right here. So this blown up is this. So now we're down to looking almost bar by bar action. And I want him to do that. I want him to look at the high and the low and the close and how the close is relative to the high and the low What's going on here? Do any of you do this type of thing? Raise your hand if you look at bars that closely. Okay, some of you do. That's good. Please turn your phones off or put them on vibrate and make yourself happy. Okay. So we're in this strong uptrend. I turned mine off, by the way. We're in this strong uptrend. Now we take out this high, and you can see the wide range bar closes on its high. That's good. That's a sign of strength. That means this uptrend, at least at the moment, is still intact, right? Nothing's changed. Now, there's no way for me to get in here. What am I going to do? Buy at the high? I got no stop. So at this point, I can just watch. But I note with interest that we had this wide range bar higher, and we close on our high. So that's a sign of strength. What are we going to get next? What do we get? Anybody think? What do you think we got? Higher bar, higher high, or are we going to go lower? Higher? Raise your hand. Anybody? Lower. Come on, you got to participate now, or I'm going to ask you to leave. Lower? Don't give me dojers, just higher and lower. Now we got an inside bar. Give me your inside bar. How many guys? All right. So slightly lower, a couple inside bars. All right, here we go. We get a slightly higher high, and we close lower. Alternating closes. How many people look at alternating closes? Probably not too many people. You should pay attention, especially if they're at an extreme like that. If you make a new high, but then you get an alternating closes. If you start to get a series of alternating closes, 3, 4, 5, generally a sign that we might have a rounding top or rounding bottom forming. Doesn't mean it's formed. You still need to change of behavior, but that's also often a very good sign that something's going on. So pay attention to these alternating closes. So we make this new high. We get a lower close in the lower third of the bar. You got nothing to do yet, but you should be scratching your head saying, oh, that's pretty interesting. If you're not paying attention. Now we get double tops. Always a good sign. Everybody loves double tops, double bottoms, right? Easy to look at, easy to spot. People always put orders at them to buy or sell. They want to buy above them if it breaks below. They want to sell right in front of them and then put their stops above them. But at least it's a marker on the chart that almost everybody in this room has seen before in whatever you trade, unless you don't trade. That's one of the most obvious things that anybody that looks at charts looks at. Double bottoms, triple bottoms, double tops, triple tops, okay? So now we've got double tops, but what else do we have? 3 alternating closes. Does it mean anything? Not yet. But we've got alternating closes continuing to build. Let's see what we get. Now we get a wide range bar. I didn't ask you because no one's going to guess this one. Wide range bar, make a new high. Then we make a huge new low. Close on our low. And we have anybody? It sounds like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Alternating close, alternating close. 1, 2, 3, 4 alternating closes. And I note with interest that this wide range bar encompasses the prior 3 bars. In other words, it's controlling all the prior action. You can actually forget that prior action. This bar is now in control of that action. Now look at the highs. We've got one new high, then double tops, which are new highs. Now this, which is new high. So we're making new highs. But if you think about it, look at the closes. We're really not making any progress up here. It's almost like we're making new highs, but we're kind of congesting in the center here. We're trying to go higher, but we're really not going higher, are we? In a lot of ways. It's like the car's going around you've been in one of those taxi rides where you go 12 blocks and you actually could have walked. It was only a half a block. That's what's going on here. Right. Now we get a second bar. This one is not alternating closes. We get a new lower low. It takes out double bottoms and leaves new double bottoms down here. So we got a quandary here. We've got these nice highs going on in here. Now we've got double bottoms, which should be support down here. We're still closing right in this whole congestive area, although now we're down at the low end of it. Next time to vote. Higher? Raise your hand if you say higher. Lower? Inside. Lower wins, basically. Most people are too asleep, apparently. Okay. Everybody wins. Outside bar. We make a new low. We break through the double bottoms. But wasn't particularly meaningful because after we did that, we then took out the high of the prior bar. But look where we closed. Right back in the center of the action. What's it telling you? It's trying to make a decision, but it hasn't made one. It isn't time to make a trade yet.